I think it ended up so cute. All the texture was really easy. It only took about 15 minutes. Hey you guys, I'm so excited. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of these Christmas trees on the bandsaw. Super easy project. It took me about 15 minutes to do this from the beginning to the end, not counting the glue up of the block. And I did it last night. I only had about 20 minutes of free time in the shop, and I'm going to show exactly how to do this. Now this is not my pattern, but I do have a free pattern available for you. This pattern is from Jason Adrian, and he's also a YouTuber. His YouTube channel is JMA Wood Studio. Go check it out. He made a video making these trees. His look very different. I'll put a picture here so you can see it. And the pattern, he is making it available through his website. It looks something like this, and I'll put a link to his pattern, to his website on the description of this video if you want to try to make one of these by yourself. The whole thing is done on the bandsaw. Like I said, super easy, super fun project, especially now with the holidays coming. Go check out Jason. I discovered him on Facebook 2 years ago. I actually bought one of his bandsaw box courses, which is fantastic, and I recommend it. Check out his YouTube channel, give him some love. He is making this pattern available for free. So without any further ado, let's get right into it and see how I made this little tree. Now to start this project, we need a plank of wood, and I glue up a block here just with some scrap cedar, I don't even know what kind of cedar it is, but I glue up this block, and mine, it's about 3 inches, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then the length of this is about 6.5 inches. So basically, when you download your pattern and you print it, it's going to be something like this. And then you want to cut your trees, and you want the tree to basically fit on your block. So something like that. So there's my block, and now we have to glue our pattern onto the block. So I'm going to bring you into the table. So like I said, I did cut my trees out of the pattern. And to glue the pattern to my block, I'll just use a glue stick. It doesn't matter what kind of glue you use, since the wood that is on the outside, the one we're putting glue on, it's going to be discarded. The little tree is going to end up inside the block. So let's glue this up. I think Adrian in his video, he just used some double-sided tape and stuck his pattern to the wood. But I will do it this way. I hope that's enough glue. And I will line it up with the bottom. And yes, I did write his name here on the pattern because I wanted to remember his name. So, Jason Adrian. I'll put his, like I said, I'll put his website and his YouTube into the description of the video. So we'll glue the pattern one to one side, we'll flip it like this, and we'll glue the next one here. And I'll line it up with the bottom of my block. All right. Now, when he cut his tree out, you see how he left it square here at the top? And that's because then later on he went and glued up a star on the top. I'm gonna make mine pointy, so I'm just going to mark my center line here, and maybe this line I'll just kind of continue like this. I hope you can see my beautiful drawing. There you go. So I'm gonna go like that and do the same thing here. And then hopefully that will give us a nice point in there. So there you go. That will give us a pointy tree, because I don't have any plastic little stars that I can glue on top. So now we'll have one side has the pattern, the next one next to it has the pattern, and then we have two sides that has no pattern. Now when he cut his Christmas tree on his bandsaw, he used a very, very thin bandsaw blade. He used a 3/16 bandsaw blade. I don't have a blade like that. I think the smallest blade I have for my saw, it's about 1/4 inch. And also my saw, it's kind of set up for resawing right now, so I have a 3/4 inch blade in, and I really don't want to change my blade. So I'm gonna cut this thing with the 3/4 inch blade. Maybe that's a mistake, I don't know, but I think it could be done. The only thing is here he cut this piece out all at once with this rounded corner, and I definitely cannot make a cut like this with a 3/4 inch blade. So what I'll be doing when I get here, I'll just kind of cut this as close as I can to that rounded edge, and then I will be sanding it afterwards to get that tree trunk shape. At least that's what I'm hoping for it. So with the pattern glued onto the blank, let's go to the bandsaw and make this cut. See how it works. Now, I don't want to have to keep stopping the bandsaw after every cut to explain you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to explain you everything now, and then I'm going to do it and you watch me do it. The way I will be cutting this, first I'll go on and do all these straight cuts because that will be the easiest one to do. So I'll do the straight cuts, and here I will just nibble away, kind of try to stay with that curve if I can. After I do those straight cuts on both sides, then I'll go in with this angle cuts. And I will just remove these triangles from the piece. So straight cuts first, then the angle cuts. I'll keep all my pieces, and that's why he numbered them. Because once they are all cut, then I will tape them back together the way it was before, the way it's right now. I will tape them back together, and then we'll go and do the same thing on this side. So that's what I'm gonna do, and then we should have a beautiful tree inside of this block, if I do it right. So let's get to the bandsaw and do it. It's easier to show than to explain. So I made my cuts, and I did make some mistakes. For once, when I got to the second side, I couldn't see where I need to cut that cutout for the trunk. If I would have cut the first side and then glued the pattern on the second side, then I would have had a guidance. So I didn't have that, so now I have all this like extra business in here because I just tried to kind of blindly follow the pattern that I remember was there. But that's okay, we can sand that down. Also, when I cut some of these sides, you see I have a little bit of lip left there. I cut maybe a little bit off the pattern. But overall, it looks super cute. Now the base of it is pretty large, and Jason cut the base smaller on the bandsaw. I think it's a lot safer to cut it on the table saw. So I'm going to cut this base smaller. So let's go do that at the table saw. So I raised my blade just enough to make sure it cuts through the base, but doesn't cut the lower branches of the tree. And let's see. I am going to make myself a visual mark kind of where I want to put this, so then I can turn all the sides and cut the same amount from every single side. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. So my first order of operation now is to use a rotary tool and try to clean up this trunk that I kind of really messed up. The base looks nice, I like the way it looks, so I'm just going to try to clean up this trunk without destroying the whole tree. So let me bring you in closer. For this, I'll just be using a rotary tool with one of these attachments. You can use a Dremel tool, whatever you have. This is what I'll be using. Let's see if I can fix this mess. So that did not go too horribly bad. I removed the bulk of it. I can do more sanding afterwards. Now I'm ready to put some texture in it. Normally, I would probably just leave it like this. I think it looks fine. But because I screwed up on those pieces, I think a texture will definitely hide that. So for the texture, I'll be using a bit like this, just like a little wheel blade. And, you know, I already butchered this project enough. What can go wrong, right? I need this bit is smaller. Let me get a different thing. All right, so I brought a different rotary tool here just because this one has an adapter to accept smaller bits. And basically, I'll just try to make lines in here and cross my finger, hope to don't destroy the project. So let's do this. So here is the texture we put on the tree. Now with this bit, I will try to clean up a little bit better the trunk. So here is what we have so far. Pretty rough little tree. Obviously, I didn't give it all the effort I could have, but still super, super cute. I think Jason, he painted his, like I said, check out his video to see that. But I think this one just looks really, really nice in the natural wood color like this. So here is our little tree. I have some oil in here. I'm just going to saturate it with oil. And then I'm gonna let this oil sit on it until tomorrow, see what it looks like, if we need to make any adjustments or not. I think it looks so much better with the oil on it. Look how cute it looks when it has the oil on it. All right, I'm gonna let this dry because I have to go cook dinner for my family, but I will see you back tomorrow. Our tree is finished and I think it ended up really cute despite the mistakes I've made. So cute and easy, and really only took me about 15 minutes to make the whole thing. So very happy with it. I hope this was useful to you and you learned something new. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Skylar Ewing and I'll see you in my next video.